Minister, I welcome this opportunity just to speak. Really, I think one of the best things that we can do as parliamentarians is to call out the truth as we receive it. And I have connections with some people in Belarus and organisations who work there. And really, I'm going to use my time merely to call out the truth in of their experience and what they report, some of which has been already mentioned here this evening. I want to begin by remembering Kim Samosenka's this evening, who is in prison. He's a prisoner that I sponsor and have written to, and his brother is sponsored by Senator O'Reilly. And they are in prison for no other reason other than they believe in freedom of expression. And so that is really quite appalling. I also want to remember that the leader of the Office of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, who is Serhii Drodowski, I don't do justice to the pronunciations, I'm afraid, but that he was arrested along with his lawyer back on the 2nd of February this year, again just for speaking out on behalf of people with disabilities. And he is still in prison and still remains untried or in any way. And they have both been subjected to interrogations. They've both been subjected to humiliating behaviour and humiliating treatment. So I suppose one of the things that has been topical in Ireland all of the time is that of COVID, and what of the people of Belarus during COVID. So very little of their population are vaccinated, only 1.5 million out of the 10 million in population. The only vaccinations they have available to them are the Sputnik and the Chinese vaccines, and naturally there's a reluctance to be vaccinated with either of those because of a mistrust of Russia, and that there has been very little availability of the Chinese vaccine. 275 NGOs have been closed down or will be shut down, and many of these organisations deal with issues of disability. For example, one organisation, that being the Office of the Rights of Persons with Disability, has now been shut down. Then we have the issue that has been talked about much tonight about the weaponising of migrants, and we really need to have a response to that is humanitarian as the EU. We should not, as has been said, we should not weaponise them we should open our borders with compassion. Insofar as, you know, there is fears of what's happening at the border of Poland and Lithuania with these migrants. Other things, we have a journalist who works with activists on the ground who again, that people are being kept in very unsanitary and dehumanising conditions, and that also they're in very close quarters in prisons where the Delta variant is spreading like wildfire. So again, COVID is really bad. I want to end on maybe positive news. The Chernobyl Children's International is an organisation very close to my own heart, and I very much, it's an honour for me to be in any way associated with it. They continue their humanitarian efforts on the ground. They are managing all of their programmes in Belarus remotely, ensuring vulnerable children and families are cared for and protected at this precarious time. So I want to pay tribute to them and to the work of Adi Roach there. That they have their life-saving cardiac programme that's resuming in the Ukraine after 2 years due to COVID and the pandemic and the travel restrictions. And while they haven't been able to see any surgeries, they welcome that this is a really good development and interaction. So their paediatric cardiac team will not be just performing life-saving surgeries on newborns and young children, but they're going to provide a full training course for local surgeons who want to leave a footprint of expertise behind. So I just end on a little bit of good news in the midst of all of this bad news this evening. Thank you.